Welcome, Mage. I'm Rhino, and today doing a we're gonna be doing
A gameplay.
a gameplay of Nicol Bolas the Ravager and Feather the
The
Redeemed.
redeemed, yes. So these are decks that we both want to upgrade.
Yes.
We really haven't changed them since we originally created them. I have added a couple of cards, but the deck list that we're working on uploading right now is the old deck list. So we've got quite a lot to fix. And so I will be furiously clicking here. We have a lot of light here that's not working too great. Oh, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Does that help even more? No, not really. That one helps. Okay. So there we go. Now I don't have all the cards loaded up in the database at the moment, so I am furiously clicking. All right. So Nicol Bolas the Ravager. What do you want the deck to do?
I mainly want people to discard and for me to gain control of what they have.
Okay, so that's a admirable thing to do. Now, Feather is a deck that I've had for a long time, and it's basically you want to cast spells that you can reoccur and cast them again and again and again. And
it's annoying really quick.
No, it doesn't. It gets fun really quick. All right, I have.
So you say.
Well, it's fun for me. I hate it when people say that. It's like, well, it's fun for me. Personally, I like games where everybody's having fun, and I generally don't like being winning so quick. I mean, we ended up playing these. These are our Commander League decks. And it's Commander League Monarch. So what we've got is we've got a limit of $500 for value of a deck. So that basically makes it so that we can't have in plateaus and badlands and stuff like that, which we have. We've got a bunch of those.
Like these.
Yeah. Actually, your thing needs to be rotated a little bit more for you. We just don't want people to have a bad feeling when they can't have super expensive cards in there. But the last person in the pod becomes the monarch, and that is kind of interesting. We started it last night, and it wasn't too bad. I mean, it wasn't overly. The monarch player wasn't overly horrid or anything like that, so it kind of helped out that person. And it looks like I've got a nope, that last card. All right. So we're going to spin, see who goes first. We're going to play this like we have a four-person pod. All right. And well, I'll spin it.
Okay.
And okay, I will go first. So we're going to play it like we have a four-person pod. We do the draws like we normally do. Free mulligan. What we're going to do with this is we're going to end up probably showing things like this hand is horrid for me.
Oh yeah.
Because I have no lands at all.
I'm not sure about this one.
You could potentially play that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got the Mind Stone, you've got the Dragon Skull. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Demir Signet.
Yeah, so you could, that is playable.
So I'm probably going to keep it.
All right, you'll keep that. But we're going to. One of the things that we do is we make sure that we play. We mulligan until we have a playable hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just so we can make the games more interesting and fun. You don't want it to be overly one-sided unless the deck is really overly one-sided. So, all right, that's going to be the cut in the middle, and so basically what I want to see is 2 plains and a mountain. And I don't have that, but I have enough.
You have enough?
Yes, I have enough. So, that's why. No, you can't see. They can see. No, you, no. All right. Okay. So, now the whole purpose of this is to find out if there's any cards in the deck that are a little bit too weak. Lands that are too slow. Cards that are just kind of dead cards, and we'll go from there. So I will draw, and I will play a plains, and I will pass turn.
I will draw. I will play a Bloodstained Mire.
Okay, so let me bring up Bloodstained Mire. Actually, Bloodstained Mire, that's one that we just added because you couldn't have the Badlands.
Well, I'm gonna be correcting it.
Okay. So Bloodstained Mire is the.
I pay 1 life and I search my library.
Okay. So things that you will probably be looking for. Okay, you can't do Badlands.
Yeah, I can.
You could potentially. You could do the Blood Crypt. And that gets you your dual land. I don't. Foreboding Ruins, that doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get that.
Yeah.
I could get Smoldering Marsh.
Okay.
I want to get that. Yeah, I want to get that.
Okay, so you're going to get Smoldering Marsh. Okay, so that's one of your tap lands.
Yeah.
And that one's not too bad of a tap land, really. Because it's a... it's a contingent sort of thing. Alright, so while you do that, I will do this, and I will play a mountain, and I'll tap 2 for a Bore Us with a Signet. Alright, so there's the Bore Us Signet. Alright.
Okay.
So now I have my 3, well, I have my 3 mana online, basically, that I need. So, I will pass turn.
Okay, I'll untap. Okay. I will play
An island, okay?
I think I might want to...
You have a 2-drop by chance?
I have 2 2-drops.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know which one to keep.
Well, last night this deck was really, really slow, and that's why we decided, oh, let's do this. Let's go through and figure out what's going wrong with these decks.
I think I play.
Now, granted, I won last night.
Mindstone.
Mindstone. Okay, so Mindstone is, all right. It's a 2-drop. It's it's fast.
Yeah.
And you can do the card draw. So that's definitely a keeper.
Yeah.
And all right, so now I can okay, what I can do, all right, so I'm going to play a Reliquary Tower. Now, Reliquary Tower is one of those cards that most decks really, really don't need anymore. But this deck is different because I'm trying to keep a lot of my instants and sorceries. So it makes sense for me to have a Reliquary Tower in here. And I don't see a reason not to have it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap this to get my Boros 2 colors out, and I'm going to tap my mountain to bring out Feather the Redeemed. So that Feather is, there she is.
You need 2 white.
Oh yeah, that's right, 2 white. Darn it all. You are very much correct. Then I should have played a different land because I wanted to have a white left over to be able to protect Feather. Because a lot of people want to take her out immediately. But this is turn 3, so there's not much in the way of board wipes. There is, you could always do a murder or something like that.
Yeah.
So I will go ahead and pass turn.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have. If I had Expedite in my hand, I would definitely use that for the card draw.
I'm going to play Dragon's Gold Summit.
Okay. Do you have that one?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that one was one that we added.
Yeah, I already have a swamp and a mountain, so it enters untapped.
Okay.
And
And now you can bring out Nikki.
yeah.
All right.
Now you have to discard.
Okay. So, let's see. This is a good chance for me to figure out what is a good card for me to discard that I wouldn't want to have in my hand anyway. Well, that's not too bad. All right, I have a couple of options here. And what I've got, and I'm going to show you the options. Blessed Breath. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. It's a splice into an arcane. It's okay. I mean, there's other protections from colors. Faithless Looting. It has flashback. That's nice. But I also have the Elite Scale Guard. This is a 5-drop, and it does a bolster. Is it bolster 2? Yeah. and then it has the ability to tap a creature when something with a 1/1 counter on it attacks. I think in this case, the Faithless Looting makes the most sense because it has flashback. These two are still usable, so.
Says
But
him not.
but yeah, but really, I'm thinking Blessed Breath. Let's see what I had a couple other options that I was looking at. Like, let's see. I don't have it here. Okay, maybe I already put them in. I put in like the Lorraine's Escape or something like that from Brothers War or something like that.
Yeah, where it gets indestructible and hexproof.
Yeah.
And
So,
you get to describe one.
Yeah.
And
So that's probably that's probably what will be replacing this Blessed Breath. Okay. So that was my discard. You don't have haste. So my turn.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what I get here. Okay. All right. Now, if I had played the Reflecting Pool earlier, then I would have had the white for protection. And so Reflecting Pool just allows you to add 1 mana of any type that your land you control could produce. Okay, so I've got 5 mana now. All right, time for me to start being annoying, I suppose, right? So I'm going to tap all of this to bring out Smothering Tide. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to assume that if you let me draw, or if you let me have the have the treasure, then the other 2 players will let me have the treasure. Okay. So there's the treasure token. In this case, if it doesn't have anything on it, it's 0. The more annoying, the better. Yes, I agree. But, last night when I was playing it, it's like, I'm like, well, man, thanks. I don't have. What can I use the mana on? Now I have nothing, and of course, doing that sort of social playing, people are like, yeah, fine, go ahead, have the treasure. Then I had like 15 on there, and
that was like 17.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, well I'm going to do this and 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 this. And I had something where whenever I targeted I had the Gold Span Dragon, because I had replaced a card in here with the Gold Span Dragon. Whenever you target it, you gain a treasure. So, I was basically keeping my treasures. All right, so that is all right. I will not swing into Nikki because it won't make sense for me to. Granted, I could get with Blessed Breath. I could give her protection from any one of your colors.
Black.
Yeah, red. But I am going to do. I'm going to put something on here, and I'll explain that in a moment. And I will pass the turn.
Okay. I will
Okay, so you're going to let me have the treasure token, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will go ahead and put 3 on there. We're going to assume the other 2 players allow me to have the treasure token because, hey, you only got 3 lands out right now.
Yeah. I'm going to play Steam Vents.
Steam Vents. Okay.
Tapped.
Steam Vents tap. That is a good. That's a good card. Good land. Because if you need it, you can pay the 2 life for it.
Yeah.
It's a conditional tap. Anything that's a conditional tap is decent. And I think cycling is pretty reasonable as well.
Do 1, 2, and play Demir Signet.
Okay, the Demir Signet. All right. Demir Signet. All right.
I was debating on not playing it, but
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I like the Signets. I like the Clue Stones as well, but the Signets, they're kind of a filter land, but they're a low drop, so.
yeah.
You have 2 mana left. Well,
Yeah.
3.
And basically,
Yeah, you have 3. Yeah.
I think I might.
Oh, so you love paying the 2. Well, yeah, but when it's early on, it's hard to play the 2. Afterwards, after like turn 6 or 7, it gets to the point where fine, I'll pay the 2. It's like, or the enchantment gets. Okay.
I think I might want to.
Well,
Yeah.
oh, okay. What you should have done, since you were bringing out this, unless you needed the 2 blue, do you need the 2 blue for anything?
No.
Okay, then you tap this instead, and then that gives you, either 2 red, 2 black, or you can go through and you can do, red. You've got all your Grixis colors.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to change that. It is the title up at the top. It says Oathbreaker.
I'm gonna tap that for a red. And
All right, we'll change it to Commander Deck Testing. How's that look now? No, this way.
I'll
Commander
go
Deck
and play
Testing.
Dragon Master Outcast.
Okay, Dragon Master Outcast.
Yeah.
All right, so Dragon Master Outcast. Does that? I mean, it's a good card.
Yeah.
If you control 6 or more lands, you only control 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we enjoy Oathbreaker a lot. We've got some Oathbreaker decks coming out soon that we're going to be doing. I got some of the cards in, including we're going to do an Oathbreaker with Rowan and Will, a flip Oathbreaker.
Ooh.
And we're going to do it with a flip spell.
What?
Yes. It's going to be cool. Trust me.
I saw the Planeswalker, but flip spell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a double spell. You can do either side. It's going to be an Izzet spell. So it's going to be, it'll be fun.
Is it really?
Is it really? It certainly is.
I just love doing.
Okay. So you've got Dragon
Master Outcast.
All right.
It's only a 1/1 right now.
Okay. So you have a flying 4/4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Combat?
Are you sure?
No.
Because you know that I can throw this up and I can give it protection from a color. So you would be basically tapping and running into something that wouldn't be a problem.
Well, I have to go into combat.
Yeah, you go into combat.
Not declaring attackers.
Yeah, okay.
So go ahead.
Okay. All right. On your end step. Okay. This seems silly to a lot of people, but it works great in this deck. I'm going to cast Defiant Strike on his end step on there, Defiant Strike. All right. So I'm going to cast it on Feather. So it gives it a +1/+0. I get to draw a card. So I draw a card. Okay, that's interesting. And then this kind of goes into an exile. And then I pop it back into my hand. And then I go to my untap, upkeep, no upkeep, triggers, and draw.
Are you going to pay the 2?
Yeah, I'm going to pay the 2 on myself. Okay. Let's see here. I am... all right. This would give me... Where is it? That would give me 3. For Commander Sphere. And let's see. And all right. Now this is the point which I am I do have enough. Let me do this then. Okay. So I am going to tap these 2. I'm going to do all 3 of these to do the Balefire Liege. So where's Balefire Liege?
5, 6.
Okay. So now with the Balefire Liege out, Feather is huge.
He's a 5, 6.
Yes, it's a 5/6, and whenever I play a red spell, it deals 3 damage to a target player. Whenever I play a white spell, I gain 3 life. So I am all right. I'm going to pass turn. I normally would pass turn in this case, even though Feather is much bigger than Nikki.
Okay. I'll play Electric Sweep.
So how's the audio sound? We used to have some problems with some echo and humming. I want to make sure that the audio is okay.
I know Luxury Suite
Is not, yeah, Luxury Suite is not in our list. It's basically
enters tab.
all right. Thanks.
Unless I
You have fewer than you know 3 players, so
2 or more.
Yeah. So we technically have 4. All right.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to...
Yeah, it was a silly thing where our camera, even though we didn't have the audio source coming out of it, the camera was doing a feedback. So I had to add the audio source from the camera and then turn it off. It was stupid. But that's a cheap camera. Do you need to use any of the Demir? The Demir?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's a 5-drop.
Okay.
I'm playing Angrath.
Okay, but you would probably want to use this so that you can have,
Okay.
yeah, because that way you take out your colorless and you use that to pump in there, and then you have colored mana.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to play Angrath.
Angrath the Flame Chain.
Okay. So you kind of have some Planeswalker stuff going here.
I got a few Planeswalkers.
It starts out at a 4.
Yeah.
So each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life.
Or I can gain control of target creature until end turn, untap it, it gains haste until end turn. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. If it has converted mana cost of 3 or less, and 8, -8, each opponent loses half the life total equal to the number of cards in their graveyard.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do the +1.
Okay. Yeah. Because, alright.
Let's see if we can get discard.
I'm going to discard the Elite Scale Guard.
So you don't need him?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the bolster is kind of cool and all that, but
it's like
yeah. I think I can do better than that.
And you go down to 13-8.
Oh, yeah, I go down to 38. So, 38 it is. All right.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to do the Defiant Strike again.
And you get
trash. Yeah. So this time, with the Defiant Strike, I will also gain 3 life.
Yeah.
So I'll go up to 41. I'll draw a card. And this pops back to my hand. And now going up against your deck, I'm starting to think, okay, what do I need to keep in my hand to be cards to discard? All right, I'm going to do my card draw. Okay. Okay, I am going to play an Opal Palace. All right, let's take a look at Opal Palace, because Opal Palace is one of those that it's like, well, it was in a lot of decks, but really, is it a good land to have? So you can add, you have to filter. But if you, you can filter and cast your commander, and it gets 1/1 counter. So in this case, yeah, maybe. But otherwise, it is just a colorless land. I'm thinking that most commander decks, Opal Palace doesn't really give you much, unless you have a proliferate deck or you're doing stuff with counters.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as good as it used to be when there was a lot less land options. But in the case of this deck, I think it's pretty decent, I think. I am okay. Okay, this is This is a silly way to. Okay, I've got a silly way of doing damage directly to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty darn silly. Um, all right. Well, what I'm going to do first, I will go ahead and I will swing with feather.
I will. I'm gonna take it.
Okay. Before damage, I will do the Defiant Strike.
Okay.
So it will. Um, yeah, I get the card draw and it'll deal 4 damage to you. It's taking you down to 35. All right. In this case, we're not going to worry about commander damage because yeah, we just want to. We're practicing the decks. So Defiant Strike is in exile at the moment, and well, technically, I could do that while this is still. Since the card draw happens as soon as I do the cast, I can. Let me do this. Now I know I don't have. This is a card that I just added, Blazing Crescendo. So a target creature gets +3/+1 until end of turn. Exile the top card of your library until the end of your next step. You may play that card. Okay. So this is definitely going into the deck here. So instead of dealing 4, I'm dealing 7 damage to you. Oops. Yeah. All right. Until the end of my next turn, I'm going to play that card. All right. So I am. That's the end of the damage there. So I have an Acronan's Crusader. So I will. Oh, and it deals 3 damage because I did. Let's see. I gained 3 life.
Yes.
Oh, and I forgot to add those 2. Gee. I did 9 damage. And on top of that, I deal 3 damage to a target player. So I do 3 more damage to you. Alright. That is the total. Alright. Now I play the Acronin Soldier. Crusade. Yeah. Alright. Alright. I think that's going to be it. I will pop this stuff back to my hand. And I will pass turn.
Okay.
So now we're going to, since I have the extra mana.
Oh, that's interesting. Alright. Oh, you can have the treasure.
Okay.
Because I am going to do it.
Okay. What you going to do?
I'm going to play Final Party. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Final Party. Nope, not Foreboding Ruins. Final Party. Search your
Okay.
library for 2 cards. Put one into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Then shuffle your library.
Yeah. Let's see. What do I have in my library?
That you would want in your graveyard?
Yeah.
Let's see. You know, anger would be great if you had anger.
If I had anger.
Yeah.
I can't get some card. Do you, what do you have? Do you have,
I have Faithless Looting and the Elite Scale Guard. Very good.
okay. That's an option. Could get Identity Thief. Oh. Okay. I think I might want to get Silumgar, the Drifting Death,
Okay.
and
So you're going to get that.
and
That's going into your hand.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, neither one of these I see. It's not a requirement.
Yeah.
But I will see what you put into your graveyard.
Yeah. And I didn't really like
What is that?
it's called Recantion. Oh.
Oh, it's this one.
Yeah.
During your upkeep, you may put a verse counter on Recantation, and then 1 blue, sacrifice and return up to X target permanents to owner's hand, where X is the number of verse counters on the Recantation. So it's kind of like a cyclonic rift sort of thing.
It's a slow one, Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to take that out in favor of something else.
Okay.
So if you want to take it, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, we're going to be focusing on some more recent cards too. There you go.
Okay. That's here. I'm gonna roll him up to a 6. You have to discard.
I have to discard. Well, I'm going to discard Burn from Within.
Okay.
It's a good card, but this was going to be one of my silly things because I could do a Burn from Within for 1 on my commander, and then it'll deal 3 damage to you because of the Balefire Leash. Because I'd be casting 1 spell, and then I'll pop it back up to my hand.
And
Yeah.
and just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And you have to lose 2 life.
2 life. Okay.
Yeah. It's just the ability.
Yeah. So I'm down to 42 now.
Boo hoo.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to gain. Yeah, that would have been nuts to. Yes, I'm going to hit my own commander for 1 to deal 3 damage to you. Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, I do not have a flying blocker at the moment.
Yeah. Attack you for 4.
For 4. So I will go down to 38. And that would have been 4 commander damage.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Okay, so we've got your turn, player over there, and player over there's turn. Okay?
Yeah.
So what I'll be doing on each of those turns, I do a Defiant Strike on yours, Defiant Strike on theirs. And I need a Defiant Strike. So I would be drawing 3 cards total on each of those turns. 2 and 3. This would be popping back to my hand each time. And I would have gained 9 life. So,
good lolly.
so I'd be going up to 47. Right?
Yeah.
And I didn't really... All right. Oh, and actually, I didn't have to do it on Feather. I could do it on the Cronin Soldier. So whenever I cast a spell that targets it, I put a red soldier creature token out. So I would have had. Do I have the red soldier creature? I don't. I have me as a goblin. So.
You have a goal.
Yeah. So I would have done it on that. Boom, 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 boom. And gained all that life. Yay. All right. Now, card draw. All right. Now I've got a fistful of cards that I can discard. Yay! So you...
Oh, wait. Rectum.
Yeah, well, when you force me to discard, I've got other stuff that I can discard.
Oh.
Okay.
Yay.
Yay. All right. So I keep that. All right. So let's see here. All right. Yeah, this is where your deck is going to fall a little short, I think,
Oh.
because of what I'm going to do.
Oh.
Okay. So I am going to go combat.
Okay.
You can't block.
Yeah.
So
Are you going to attack Ingrat or
no,
me?
I'm going after you because basically at this point I am. I'll be doing the Blazing Crescendo. All right.
Okay.
Which will deal 3 damage to you on the cast. Right.
Yeah.
So you would go down to 24.
Man, I'm going down real quick.
Now, exile the top card in my library, and I may play that card. Can't play it yet, but I will be playing it in a bit. I will do the Defiant Strike, and then I will draw a card. Okay, so this is in exile. The card that I draw is underneath. All right. All right. And I gain 3 life. I go up to 50. You know, Etherflux Reservoir would be great in this deck. What do you think?
What's that card?
That's the one that I can deal 50 damage.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
As long as I have 50 life, I can deal 50 damage. Yeah, that'd be fun. All right.
But you would have to have that and a lot of lifelink.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got quite a fair amount of lifelink in this deck, I think.
Yeah. I almost have almost none.
Okay. So this is 5 plus 3 is 8 plus 9. Okay. That's 9 damage coming through.
Yeah.
9 commander damage on top of that. So 24 goes down to 15, right?
Yeah.
And then this is in exile at the moment. Yeah, I'll just leave that there for a moment.
I have a question.
Yes.
If I return something to your hand and make a copy, that is under my control, would those, go into exile because of the ability?
Okay. All right. Would these disappear completely?
Yeah.
The thing about this is, whenever you cast an instant sorcery, exile that card instead of putting it into your graveyard as it resolves. If you do, return it to your hand at the beginning of the next end step.
Okay.
So this being on the battlefield is not a requirement for that to continue.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if you do it on my cast, then it would go to my graveyard.
Okay.
Because it wouldn't have a legal target.
Okay.
Okay, so that's end of combat. This would get played, which is Slayer's Stronghold. Let me see here. Slayer's Stronghold. There's Slayer's Stronghold. What am I doing? Oh, yeah. And now, let us do this, and I'm going to cast Impact Resonance. All right. Now, the silly thing about Impact Resonance, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures where X is the greatest amount of damage dealt by a source to a permanent or a player this turn. Total of 9 was hit, right?
Right.
All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to target 1 on the feather.
1 on the feather.
That way, this becomes a spell that goes into exile that pops back to my hand. The other 8 I can divide out. Let's see, target creature. So any number of target creatures where X is the greatest. So I'm going to do 4 and 1 there.
Okay.
Okay. So, well, I will do 4 and 4, something like that. That way, because I've got 8 left over.
I was
So
gonna
that
do something cool next turn.
Well, then do something cool next turn. We can leave it out. Leave it out. That's fine. But this is me doing this. So these go here, and then they pop back into my hand. And I do an extra 3 damage to you.
Okay.
So then these come back to my hand, and I've got a fistful of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 cards in my hand.
Oh, I forgot.
What?
Those are all 2/2s.
Yes. Everything's a 2/2.
Never mind. For,
Yeah. Yeah, these are red soldiers, and that's the red.
never mind.
Okay. So you need a way of protecting Nicol Bolas a little better, I think.
Yeah, something like, Swiftfoot boots.
Or, I mean, Cloud Shift would be nice. Whisper Silk Cloak would be okay.
Well, what is Whisper?
Yeah, that gives it Shroud. So nothing can target it. In fact, I think I might even have Whisper Silk. Do I have Whisper Silk in this deck? No, I don't. What deck do I have that in? I don't know. Oh, Gesundheit, bud.
Oh, man.
Okay, so that is the end of my turn, because I don't... Yeah.
You can have the treasure.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming on. Yeah. You know, there's there's a you might be a redneck if you pee on the same tree that your dogs do. But yeah, thanks for coming on, and thanks for watching us, and
Yeah.
we'll come up with a better deck, and see if Rhino's deck will perform better next time.
Yeah.
Sebastio.
I'm gonna play some guy.
Guy, this drifting death. Okay, wow, surprise, surprise. I didn't know that you had that in your hand. Okay, so whenever he can defeat a player,
Whenever a dragon I can
control attacks.
Yeah, if I didn't know that those were 2/2s, then I would have.
Well, then, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have multiple dragons,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you'd be swinging with 2 dragons, whenever a dragon you control attacks creatures to finish, gets -1/-1. That's for each dragon.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and update.
Uptick, or do you want to take control of something? So
Oh yeah. I think I might want to gain control of.
that won't do you any good.
Yeah, but I'll get rid of it.
Okay. Well, I can stop you from gaining control of stuff. Because I can give it protection. Because it says
Gain control of target.
So, because it says target, then I can give it protection from. Yeah.
In that case.
But, yeah, if you were to do that, then I would tap and do a God's Willing.
Oh, yeah.
Protection. Boom.
I'm going to
And then I get scry. Oh, I forgot to scry.
get. I'm gonna uptake him.
Okay, you
By
need it.
one.
By one?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
So you have to discard.
Okay. Well, fortunately, I have some basic lands I can discard now.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
I think. Oh, and you have to.
Oh, I lose 2 life.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Pass turn.
Okay. So my board state's pretty reasonable. We will say that I can draw 3, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Just to speed things up.
I gain 9, which would put me at 57. Boom. And now, and I would do this, so I would have even more of these guys out. Do I have more? Yeah, well, what I'll do is I'll put that out, and I'll say there's 3 of them. All right. Now I do my card draw. Okay. Let's see. I have unknown shores in here. And unknown shores is a reasonable filter land.
Only if you need it.
Yeah.
It's good for
yeah.
like 5-color deck, but
Yeah. For a 2-color deck, it almost doesn't make sense.
yeah.
It would be better for me to have a mountain or a plains in here instead of that, I think. So this might be something that I'll take out. However, I will tap that to play a Soul Ring.
Okay.
Which is kind of amazing because we haven't been putting Soul Rings in decks lately.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I do know why. It's because we really don't have a lot of Soul Rings. And we just kind of run out.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't think there's soul rings in the deck. In this deck.
I have got a fistful of cards here.
Yeah.
So I can. Yeah. Well, let's see. What am I going to do here?
Oh man.
Well, you didn't take a nap today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I could reasonably overrun some things here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What I will do. All right. I am going to tap 3 to play a Boris Cluestone. And then I'm going to so let me do that this way. Then I'm going to sacrifice it to draw a card. I got an Arid Mesa. Um, yeah, this is okay. I can search for it. Uh, I'll probably keep it. I mean, there's definitely keeps it fast. Furious here. Um, all right. So if I do this and this, tap Slayer's Stronghold, then that gives this +2/+0. Then Blazing Crescendo. Then Defiant Strike. Okay, this is the woohoo.
Long Road Home. That's the one where,
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So I get a card draw that's underneath.
I know what I want in this deck.
What?
More counter spells.
Okay. Well, that's because you're going up against this deck. You know, deck is a lot of spells cast.
Yeah.
But you've never really been much of a counterspell sort of person.
Yeah.
But we can definitely do that. Let's see here. That would be swinging for an 11 with vigilance now.
I'll block one.
Huh?
On block one. And
Well,
block that.
actually,
I can
make it so yeah. So I can do a God's Willing on it.
give it
Protection from black.
Okay.
Then I get to scry one. And so that is dealing 3 damage to you. From the red spell. 1, 2, 3. I'd be gaining 6 life, which would take me up to 63.
I would bring in. Wait, you got 3 from that.
3 from that. Yeah, that's adding 6.
Okay.
And yeah, this is kind of an impressive deck, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then
No. There we go.
all right.
Terminate.
Yeah. And so I can cast the Long Road Home, bounce it back up. What?
I was looking for a
sixth land. So let's see. What do we have? I'm going to shift back to this, and let's see. Turn deck builder back on. Oh, it doesn't show up. Let's see here. There's deck builder.
Okay.
All right.
Is that my deck?
Yeah, this is your deck. It's showing 99. I don't know why it's showing 99. But we will figure that out. So and we've got a bunch of sideboard cards in here. Let's sort by type detail. All right, let's go down to lands. You've got 38 lands in this deck.
Yeah.
You should have enough. You really should have enough.
38.
So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to tear the deck apart.
Yeah.
Okay. And see what matches up, what doesn't match up. and figure out what's going on.
Um,
Uh, so, yeah. One of the reasons why I like Boros, I mean, Boros is fast. It can be very fast. And actually, yeah, you
yeah.
can't see me on here. Let's see. Can we, do we have, hey, that's me. Woo! So I got a little story here. Um, we were at a Magic Fest in Vegas, right after I built this deck. And we ended up playing, that was right after Josh Lee Kwai ended up, uh, he had on the command zone, he was talking about how Boros was the worst color pair and all that. And I ended up playing him with this deck. Uh, Rhino had, I don't remember what deck you had, but I won that with this. And he was like, and then I said, you said something about Boros not being very good. Just depends on how you built the deck. And he said, well, that's all based off of the the data that they had accumulated from the games that they played. Boros was bad. It's like, well, I think y'all need to learn how to build a Boros deck. After that, I think he changed his tune a little bit. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. Oh, let's see here. We need to. Okay, so we've got a lot of. All right, spells.
I don't think I
You
have a
have.
lot.
You
I
have.
have counter spell.
Uh, yeah, you
Um,
have a basic counter spell. Um, you do not have. Well, doesn't this? Yeah, counter target non-creature spell.
yeah,
Cryptic command is a counter spell.
I had that in hand.
Okay. Uh,
Like you counter target spell, bounce something,
yeah.
tap your
Draw.
X cards, then
Sorry.
discard.
I
Um,
I don't know that you need a bunch of. Do you really need a bunch of card draw?
I think I do
Okay.
because I was running out
Yeah.
of gas real quick.
Untap target permanent. Gain control of it until the end of turn. It gains haste. So, all right. Word of Seizing. You already have in this deck Act of Treason to take control, but that's a sorcery.
Yeah,
This
that
this costs more, but it's a split second, and uh, so you can take control of something immediately and then stop any other spells from happening. So if you had this in hand,
yeah,
you could have taken control of Feather, stop me from casting anything else. Granted, anything that would have that cast after this, so you could drop that in before the trigger of one of my spells. That would work.
yeah,
Okay, you have Dark Ritual in here.
yeah. Dark ritual.
Uh,
Ritual is nice. If I don't have enough mana. Um,
yeah, you've got a lot of black spells in this deck. If I bring up the stats, I don't know if people can see stats. See stats?
yeah,
No, they can't see the stats. Because let me do this. There's the stats. Woo. All right. So the stats here show that you've got mostly black.
Yeah.
You've got 38 black, 29 blue, and 20 red. I mean, you have a good mixture, I think. 15 creature artifacts and sorceries. Let's see here. You got a lot of planeswalkers in this deck, right?
I only have like. Mm,
Well, let's see here.
um,
We go down to
others.
you got 4.
Um.
You got Dak Faden, Angrath, Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh, and Ugin the Spirit Dragon.
And more.
Does Ugin make sense?
I can bolt something. Exile each permanent with convertment
Costs
costs
X
X.
or less. That's one or more colors. I mean, that includes you.
Yeah.
So Ugin almost doesn't make sense. I mean, Ugin is great in a colorless deck. Ugin would be great in my Traxxas deck.
Okay. We'll go and grab it. Well, after the stream.
Yeah. Okay. Let's yeah. All right. So Ugin is something to take out. Dak Faden works.
Yeah. I can gain control of something. Period.
Yeah. Of a target artifact, yes. So, oh, I like your soul ring. And I like your soul ring. And I like your soul ring. I want everybody's soul ring.
What's that?
All right, let's look at enchant permanent. You control enchanted permanent, and then it becomes legendary. Looking at your most expensive stuff. The Eldest Reborn. Oh, definitely.
Yes, definitely the Eldest Reborn.
Yeah, taking out that dictate.
Whenever a creature I control dies, each opponent
sacrifices a creature.
Yeah.
Yeah. Torment of Scarabs.
I'm actually not sure.
Yeah. Torment of Scarabs, I mean, you played it last night, and the guy just kept taking the 3 life, and it was like, oh, whatever. And he didn't actually die to this loss of life. He died to commander damage. So it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Torment of Scarabs probably isn't the best thing.
Yeah. Dragon enters. It deals X damage to target creature or player where X is the number of dragons I control.
Yeah, and that works great with the Dragon Master Outcast. But that's 2 cards in the 99. And you would have to have both of them. So this almost doesn't make enough sense unless you have a whole bunch of dragons. And I don't think you have a whole bunch of dragons. You've got okay. We can call this a dragon. All right.
So
you've got
1 basically.
You've got your dragon.
2.
You've got Kolagon.
3.
You've got Lathis. 4. Solmgar.
5.
Steelkite.
6.
Deathbringer.
7.
7. Okay. That's 7 dragons. I don't think to tell you the truth, the Dragon Tempest, where is it?
Uh,
Okay, Dragon Tempest. 7 cards out of 99. Okay. The percentage of you having 2,
is very
yeah,
little.
yeah. Well, it is reasonable, but I mean, this is an edge case. I think taking that out will make a lot of sense. We can put in something like put in impact tremors.
Yeah.
Okay, impact tremors is better. In fact, I need impact tremors. uh, or actually, no, what I need is thermal alchemist.
Yes.
Thermal alchemist would be nasty in this.
Thermal Alchemist. I forgot what.
It's whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you can untap it,
Yeah.
but you tap it to deal 1 damage.
To anything.
Yeah, basically anything, except for a planeswalker. I think it's a
I think
creature.
it's any target.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. Well, we can do that right here. Thermo Alchemist. No, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever you cast an instant or a sorcery spell, untap Thermo Alchemist. I don't like that card art as much as I like the original. I really like the original. Yeah, there's the original.
Yeah, that is much.
I mean,
better.
I mean, it's basically the same thing, but this
is more him.
Yeah, yeah, you see a lot more there. Let's see. Raymond Swanlin. Did Raymond Swanlin? No, this is someone else. Yeah, I like Raymond Swanlin's artwork a lot there. Actually, you know, I was to cosplay. This could be a great cosplay for me.
Oh
I
yeah.
get that and put the blue thing there and the big things on my hands.
You could be like the Iron Man.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
And heck, my hair's almost the same. Just need longer, scraggly hair.
Yeah, you need a wig.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Dragon Tempest doesn't make a lot of sense. Torment of Scarabs doesn't. Recantation. I think we can come up with better. For those 3, we can come up with something better. All right, let's take that's okay. That's good. That's good. You may cast a target answer and sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard without paying its mana cost.
Depends on the spell.
Yeah. Now going up against me, I generally don't have anything. But yeah.
It's instant sorcery. That's the problem.
Well, Cryptic Command. That's good. Murder is always good.
Yeah. Destroy target creature.
Hero's Downfall.
Yes.
Terminate.
Yes.
Pull from Tomorrow. Probably. Psych Rift. Yeah, whatever. Counterspell and Dark Ritual. I think we can do better. Okay, Mob Rule. Yeah. I mean, you can gain control of pretty much everybody's creature all at once. And if somebody has a whole horde of tokens out, I'm going to build up 1,000 tokens that are going to swing at you next turn.
Okay. Mob Rule. What?
Okay, Final Parting. That works to a certain degree. You might want to just do I mean, you've got demonic tutor in here.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm definitely gonna keep that.
yeah, but there's the other tutors. Uh, so, um, let's see. Profane tutor would
Uh,
work in this deck.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
oh, wait, hang on a second. Let me do unique cards. Profane tutor, definitely.
Didn't know. Here.
Uh, no, you don't.
Oh.
But we do have one.
Oh.
Uh, mystical tutor. That's just an instant of sorcery. But vampiric tutor.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. What else? Infernal tutor? No.
No.
Oh, Grim tutor. We do have Grim tutor.
Um.
Um, in fact, we may have that.
Same version.
Yeah. Um, and di diabolic tutor.
It's a 4 and
Yeah, it's a 4.
but you get to search for a card. You reveal it.
Yeah. No, search your library for a card and put that card into your hand. You don't have to reveal it. Grim tutor, you know, the the black tutors are the ones that you don't have to reveal. So you don't have to reveal it, but you lose 3 life. The demonic tutor, uh,
2.
yeah,
You search for a card.
yeah. You alright? Yeah, you have the demonic tutor.
Yeah.
Um, but profane tutor, this is a suspend, so you're not casting this
And
from your hand. Pay that and exile it with 2 time counters on it, and then so it take if you have this on turn 2, you can do it. So, but what are the things that you would tutor for?
mm, yeah, that is the problem.
Well, I mean, tutoring is always good.
Yeah.
Um, so profane, vampiric, grim. Those would be good. Get everybody sacrifice. Yeah, tutor for tutors.
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah. Crux of Fate, destroy all dragon creatures, all non-dragon creatures. Okay. If all right, if we were to take this and these 15 creatures and make them all dragons, or mostly dragons, maybe you roll it up to 24 or something like that, and do dragon tribal with Nicol Bolas, then a lot of this other stuff would make a lot more sense. Um,
But Crux of Fate, I don't think is a good.
well, if you had nothing but dragons,
Then yeah,
yeah,
but I mainly would only
okay.
do destroy all non-dragon.
Realistically, tutor for things you need on each situation. Yes. Um, yeah, what we're trying to do is okay, you've got this thing.
Yeah. I can exchange for,
Yeah. Control of target creature you control and target creature an opponent controls.
yeah.
Yeah.
I may cast a spell face down.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm thinking, let's take a look at the stats here. See your curve Your curve is, yes, you've got a bunch of 2 drops, but then everything's 4 or 5. I think you might need to get rid of some of these bigger things.
Like,
Because you don't have a lot of ramp. You don't have ability to get up to, I mean, you were stuck at 5 mana, pretty much. Well, you had 2 rocks. You were stuck at 7, but you didn't have the 6 lands.
yeah,
So, the Dragon Master Outcast needs the 6 lands.
yeah.
Um,
So,
and in these colors, you don't have a lot of good ramp for that. I mean, yeah, you have Myriad Landscape in there. Um, and maybe you need to have an expedition map and Wayfarer's Bauble, um, so that you can get those lands that you need if you want to go the dragon route.
I don't.
Okay, if you're not going the dragon route, um,
Then,
yeah, I mean, take a look at your creatures. You have a 1 drop, and then you jump up to 4. You have no 2 or 3s in there. And you only have, besides your commander, you only have 3 other 4 drops. So we need to take a good look at the creatures. Um, yeah, this chrome shell crab, I don't think it's going to be that great. Um, yeah, if you're going to get rid of dragons, then Kolaghan doesn't make sense. Neb, that's reasonable. Each player puts top. Yeah, okay, this is a mill.
yeah, I do want people to discard, but
Yeah.
he's just downright confusing.
Well, he's not that confusing. But this is just a mill. Uh, and then exile up to 2 creature cards put into graveyards this way. Put a blue zombie creature token onto the battlefield. So, I mean, that's not too bad, but I don't think that milling, I mean, you're not really doing a lot playing around with other people's graveyards.
Yeah.
So I think if you're going to focus on, you want people to discard or sacrifice. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to take control of what they sacrifice or discard. Okay, this is a dragony thing.
Yeah.
This is fine, but I mean, really no. Steel Hellkite, I mean, that works in any deck, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Locust God,
Yeah.
sure, yes. Deathbringer Regent, yeah. Um, if you cast it from your hand and there are 5 or more other creatures on the battlefield, destroy all other creatures. Okay. Sheer yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm keeping that.
Okay, so out of this,
I think Disciple.
yeah, Gonti's reasonable. Identity Thief is reasonable if you're, but Steel Hellkite, Locust God, and definitely Sheer. I don't know about Deathbringer. I mean, we're talking about 5 of these creatures are really working well for you. Oh, something that we can do. I want to see what the average is for the Nicol Bolas the Ravager deck. Let's see here. I'm going to pop open a window here and I'm going to go to EDH Rec. Rec, and we're going to do Nicol Nicol Bolas the Ravager. Okay. So, well, creatures is 16. All right.
Okay.
34 lands. Average of 8 planeswalkers. So, you only have 4.
I don't need to have 8.
What? Well, I mean, if you think about it, we can take a look at the other Nicol Bolases that we have because it makes sense for Nicol Bolas to be in with Nicol Bolas. Tempted to brew a Ragavan Commander deck. That'd be funny. Yeah, that would be kind of funny. But take a look at the mana curve here. I mean, it is very.
It looks like
it pops up at 2, and then it's just a slow trickle down, where yours is a kind of an all over the place thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, yours is not a slow trickle down. I mean, we need to have a lot more 3 drops, and then less of the 4 and 5 drops. But let's take a look here. Yeah, see, they've got high synergy cards is the other Nicol Bolases. The Dragon God, the God Pharaoh, and the
Planeswalker.
Nicol Bolas Planeswalker. Eldest Reborn, Delivering the Evil, yeah. That's the new Sheer Dread. Vraska and Nicol Bolas the Deceiver. Yeah. So, I mean, we could probably come up with a pretty reasonable set of cards for this. Why don't you go ahead and break up the deck here?
Okay.
So pull out your lands, your instants, your sorceries, and we'll see what we've got going here. I mean, your artifacts, Sensi's Divining Top, that's a great card. You got Signet, Feldwar Stone, another Signet, Mind Stone, Mind Crank. Okay, that's a mill card.
Yeah.
That almost doesn't make sense. Rakdos. You got Swiftfoot Boots in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Thran Dynamo is almost too slow now.
Yeah.
And really, you need colored mana more.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's look at mana artifacts. Soul Ring. You need an Arcane Signet. Arcane Signet wasn't a possibility when you created this deck. Yeah. Yeah, Talisman of Dominance. Yeah, creativity and indulgence. Yeah, you need to have those talismans. Talisman. Talisman.
About Chromatic Lantern.
I mean, yeah,
Lands I control.
can tap for anything.
Yeah.
And the Visage of Bolas. Uh, Graveyard for a card named Nicol Bolas the Deceiver.
No.
But no, you don't quite understand. Yes, you can search for Nicol Bolas the Deceiver, but you can also tap it for Grixis.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, and oh yeah, well they've got Thran Dynamo on here as well. Wonder, can we bring up? Okay, obelisks and the Mox Amber. And, yeah, yeah. Oh, let's put a Chrome Mox in there. Okay,
No, it just jumps up to.
we got a foil Chrome Mox. Yeah. Well, I mean, Chrome Mox is only $68, right? Granted, this one's 100 and something. Um, I mean, we could always give that to your broker and get a bunch of other cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, replicating ring. I don't see. Really, replicating ring doesn't make much sense. So, land wise. I mean, if we're going to do a tap land, something like Xander's Lounge, that taps for Grixis, but it comes in tapped, but it can be cycled.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, let me do this. I'm going to roll back up to the top up here, and that's one thing that this EDH rec thing's got.
What do I do with the steel held kite?
You're going to keep that, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's a creature. Put it in creature.
Yeah, but this is multicolor and this is non-multi.
Okay, you're doing a pile of creatures.
Okay.
Okay, it's not doesn't matter what color it is. Okay, we'll add that. Do we have dark intimidations in the list?
Dark intimidation. Sounds like we do.
Yes, we do. Dark intimidations. That's already in the list. Uh, Nicol Bolas the Deceiver. That was the Planeswalker deck one, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, Liliana's Talent. Definitely want to get that.
Oh, which one is that?
Oh, that is Enchant Planeswalker. It has -3. Put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. And whenever a creature deals damage to an enchanted player, Planeswalker, destroy that creature. Okay, so Icar Moon Gauntlet. That looks interesting. So let me do this. So I'm going to put up Ichor Moon Gauntlet here. People can see. So, planeswalkers you control have 0 proliferate, and then -12 take an extra turn after this one.
Oh.
Whenever you cast non-creature spells, choose a counter on target permanent. Put an additional counter of that kind on that permanent. So you can, it's like a direct, but this sucker is, I mean, a $5 card. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Bolas' Citadel.
No, we had that.
Yeah, I know we have it, but is it in this deck?
I don't know.
I don't think so, because that would be an artifact, and it is not showing up here. So Bolas' Citadel. Let's so Bolas' Citadel. Yeah, I don't like that version.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, I think we have that version right there. Yeah. Let's take a look at the top card of your library. You may play the top card. Cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its converted mana cost rather than pay its mana cost. Sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. Each opponent loses 10 life. So, yeah, that could be interesting. Blasphemous Act. You have that in here, don't you?
Probably. I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know your own deck? No, it does not look like you do. So Blasphemous Act. Oh, I think it's sitting in your sideboard here. Deals 13 damage to each creature. That is definitely a possibility. Look, Crux of Fate is listed here. Damnation. Narset. Okay. Narset Parter of Veils. Let's take a look at this. So, I mean, it's Planeswalker. Now let's get an actual reasonable version of it. Not that version. This version. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn.
Like, go.
Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them. Put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. So that is
a maybe.
Maybe. There's like no downside to this. It is a good planeswalker to have in here. I mean, it is a really good planeswalker to have in here. Because you're forcing it so people can't draw extra cards. And plus, you get to... It's not looting. You look at the top 4 cards. And as long as you're proliferating, and if you have, like the Liliana's, yeah. Okay, let's take a look at this. Nightscape Familiar. I don't know if we have this one or not. Okay, Nightscape Familiar. Blue spells and red spells you cast cost 1 less. It is a 2-drop creature. You need 2 drops.
Yes.
and it makes things cost less. All right. And then you can regenerate it for 1 and a black. Yeah. Okay. Spark double. Spark double makes sense. Okay. There's a problem with Spark Devil though. Because that's before they changed the legendary rule. You may have Spark Devil in his battlefield as a copy of a creature or a planeswalker you control, except it enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it. It enters with an additional loyalty counter on if it's a planeswalker, and it isn't legendary if that. Okay, so yeah, Spark Devil, you can make a copy of any legendary. So yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Don't we have Spark Double?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, Spark Double makes a lot of sense. Um, okay, Baleful Strix.
Yeah. I need more card draw.
Yeah, oops. Um, so Baleful Strix makes sense. Flying Death Touch. Solemn Simulacrum.
Yes.
That would definitely help you out. Flux Chandler. That that would help out a lot. Do you have Notion Thief in here?
No.
Okay. Valculti, God of Lies. Okay. This was from Kaldheim. Yeah. So this is the Valculti. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent reveals their hand. For each opponent, exile a creature card. They reveal this way until it leaves the battlefield. So you're sucking up people's creatures.
Okay.
You're sucking up creatures from their hands. Okay, choose a creature card exiled with converted mana cost. It becomes a copy of that card. Or you can flip it over and you can do Tybalt Cosmic Imposter. As it enters the battlefield, you get an emblem with you may play cards exiled with Tybalt, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. You exile the top card of each player's library, exile target artifact, and exile all cards from all graveyards. Add that. So, and this is all of these. So, go underneath Tybalt.
Okay.
So if you wanted to play Tybalt, you've got yeah. So Valky, God of Lies, is pretty reasonable.
But that's if somebody has a creature in their hand.
Well, yeah, but you know, people are drawing cards all the time.
Yeah. So that is a big part.
Yeah, and since you've got multiple players, yeah, this is decent. Thing is, I don't know if I put this. If we have this, I don't know if it's in with black or if it's in with multicolor. So yeah, this would make sense. Scarab God, you already got that in there, right? No, you got the Locust God in there.
Yeah.
I don't know that we have the Scarab God, do we?
Think we do.
Okay. Terror Grid. Okay. Terror Grid. So let's take a look at Terror Grid. Uh, so whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So you're forcing people to sacrifice, and when they sacrifice, it comes underneath your control.
Me likey.
Okay. And then the other side, if you want to cast this, you can. It's an artifact. Target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-life permanent or discard a card, and then you can untap it. But yeah, Terror Grid.
Yeah.
Dockside Extortionist.
I don't know.
Well, we got one if you need it.
Um,
Black Lance J-O. J-O? I want to build a Terror Grid sacrifice deck someday. Yeah, well, we're gonna probably end up making something like that out of this Nicol Bolas deck. Painter Servant and all his dust. Yes, it does. Um, Opposition Agent. Oops. All right, let me scroll back down here. So Opposition Agent. I'll put that in here as well. Opposition Agent. You control your opponents while they're searching their libraries. While an opponent is searching their library, they exile each card they find. You may play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. You may spend mana as though were mana of any color to cast them. So you flash this out when someone is searching their library for something. So they do a demonic tutor or something like that, and you go, okay, I'm searching your library instead, and I'm finding what I want, and then you exile each card they find. So if they're searching for 3 cards, you get 3 cards that you want, exile it underneath Opposition Agent, and then you can cast those. And the thing is, it's in here somewhere. I think we got several copies of it.
Yeah. I always thought an opposition agent wasn't that great.
It's there's a reason why it's a $16 card or $14 card.
$14 card by itself.
I forgot the tiny ones. Uh,
And
oh, okay. That's a card you want in there,
Force of Negation.
right?
If it's not my turn, I may exile a blue card from my hand rather than pay its mana cost. And counter target non-creature spell if that was encountered this way. Exile it instead. Then put in other than put in the graveyard. So
That would be a reasonable land to put in. As I'm going through.
okay.
There's your Grim Tutor.
Yeah.
Um, um, let's see. Archmage Charm. You already got a Demonic Tutor in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you don't need this Demonic Tutor. You have a training center?
What is that card? Oh no, I don't.
Better makes it and you can have better scrolling time. Grief. Yeah, people aren't seeing us put these up.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody said Ragavan. There's a Ragavan. I don't know that Ragavan would be great in your deck or not.
You can get a treasure.
Yeah.
Whenever.
Oh, Imperial Recruiter. I can use that in my deck. Oh, by the way, there's 2 more Ragmans. And Force of Will. No. I mean, you want a counter spell.
Yeah.
Okay. Profane Tutor. Told you that we got these things. Yeah. Really need to sleeve all these things up. Okay. All right. What else are we looking for here?
Let's see.
Opposition agent is also fun. You get to steal lands when opponents uses fetches. Yes, that is very true.
Yeah.
Okay, Archmage Charm. Use Teferi's Protection. My deck. Now, is it Teferi or Teferi?
Fairy.
Let's see. Fierce Guardianship.
Counter target non-creature spell.
Chromatic Lantern.
Yes.
Dockside.
Yeah.
Deflecting Swat.
That's the one.
You redirect.
That's the worst one.
Jet Medallion might be reasonable. Yeah. Mox Opal. No. Pacto negation. Phyrexian Obliterator. Sakashima. No. Um, I forgot what we were looking for. There's that. Damnation. Destroy all creatures. There's another Force of Will. Oh, Breacher. Now useless. Let's see. I handed you a training center already.
Training center.
Was that a training center that I handed? All right.
No, I don't think so. Training center is right here.
Yes. So yeah, there's a training center there. Control Dragon Lord. Jewel Lotus. No. Okay, we needed a vampiric tutor. There's one.
Mm-hmm. Grim tutor.
Opposition agent. Okay. There's and okay. Yawgmoth, no. Chained Veil. You know, if you do a bunch of planeswalkers, having a chain veil makes sense. You basically double up your how many times you can do your loyalty abilities. Okay. Another force negation. Unlicensed for Proax. Cause Umbrus. Meat Hook Massacre. Sneak attack.
What is sneak attack?
You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That creature gains haste. Sacrifice the creature at the beginning of the next instant. This is a Pyromancer. Oh, that's what I was looking for. The god thing, the Valkati or whatever its name is. Spider. Oh, cool. We got a bunch of Havars.
Gesundheit.
And Exquisite Blood. So those are possibilities. I don't know that. We may have that. All right. Let's see. What else are we going to look for? Dorothy.
We have that.
Yeah, but does it make sense? Oh, we do have Sheodred the Apocalypse. I that Sheodred would make sense in your deck, right? Okay, so
Whenever
let's do this. Boom. Sheodred, the Apocalypse. Uh,
whenever I draw a card, I gain 2 life. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. Okay. Yeah.
so wow, that's a $61 card.
Well, that doesn't.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay. Let's put this guy. Thief of Sanity kind of makes sense. Drumming Bird kind of makes sense. Yeah. Displacer Kitten. So cute. Uh, Lord Sanders Connect. I mean, we're getting down to things that are like, yeah, maybe Hostage Taker.
I forgot what Hostage Taker does.
Okay. So let's pull that up here. So when it enters battlefield, exile another target creature or artifact until Hostage Taker leaves the battlefield. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled. You spend mana as though it were mana of any type. So when you bring it out, you basically take control of somebody else's creature.
And take something.
Well, yeah, you take something, a creature or artifact, and then you can cast it. So if somebody has a soul ring, you can steal it, and then you have a soul ring. If you, I mean, you can steal pretty much any signet or clue stone or anything like that. It doesn't matter because you can still use the extra mana.
Yeah.
So it would be a good way for ramping. I mean, it is a 4-drop though.
Yeah.
And we
we're
want,
looking for like low drop.
yeah, but that's still pretty decent.
Yeah.
The Raven Man. At the beginning of each end step, if a player discarded a card this turn, create a black bird token with flying, and it can't block. Well, we've got Jinkataxius. I know we've got that. So
Whenever I cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. I can.
yeah.
And whenever an opponent casts an
Artifact, instant, sorcery spell, counter that spell.
I.
So it basically stops people from casting things. Now it is a 7-drop.
Yes.
It is very impressive. Disciple of Bolas.
I already had that.
Yeah. Augur of Bolas. Sangromancer. That kind of makes sense. Gonti. Gonti is actually pretty low on the list here. Okay. Bedevil, Chaos Warp, Terminate, Experimental Augury, Mana Drain, Negate. You don't even have a basic negate in the deck.
Yeah.
Vampiric Tutor, Serum Snare, Counter Squall, Fierce Guardianship, Arcane Denial. Arcane Denial, we have that. Mystical Tutor. I think we have that as well. Swan Song. Swan Song would make sense. Tyrant Scorn. An offer you can't refuse. Okay. So, and I know we've got one. We've got several, I think. Counter target non-creature spell. And its controller creates 2 treasures. But it's for 1.
Yeah.
Deflecting SWAT. I threw out 1, I thought. Force of Will, Fact of Fiction. Force of Negation.
Pact of Negation.
Well, how about I hate it when it does that. Where are we? We are Infernal Grasp. Okay, let's take a look at Infernal Grasp. This is a lower cost card. This isn't the big stuff, but Infernal Grasp. Oh, come on.
Destroy target creature, you lose 2 life.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2, you lose 2 life.
Okay.
If
you want to kill something quick, then
yeah, and it's 2 drop, so it's pretty reasonable. Let's see here. We're getting close to 10 o'clock, so we're gonna have to close up our stuff here.
Yeah.
But let me see if we've got it.
I think we do.
Oh, maybe.
Almost done.
So E F G H Infernal Grasp. Infernal Grasp makes sense. Narcissus Reversal, Soul Shatter, Disallow.
Yeah.
Oh, Disallow's gone down in price. Valkyrie's Awakening, Counterflux. There's a lot of counter spells. Aetherize. So, I mean, it's not quite, yeah. It's, return all attacking creatures to their owner's hands.
So it's basically a sell the wreckage.
Yes, without without exiling things. I mean, it pops them back to their hands, but
If they're all tokens, then
yeah. And I know we've got many copies of those. We've got several copies of those because it was in the Zendikar Rising.
Yeah.
So we got some options there. All right.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and we'll turn this off. And
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for watching me and Bob Mage
working on a deck.
working on deck. And I have more videos coming out soon. So until then, Rhino out.
Thanks for being on. So much fun. And other people who haven't
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 been
said anything.